This 6'8" guard build with Hall of Fame Bulldozer and Hall of Fame Space Creator is a deadly combo in NBA 2K24. You can toss lockdown defenders out of the way and bully smaller defenders in the post on this build while still having a deadly mid-range game and being an insane shot creator on this build. But with all of that out of the way, man, let's get started with today's video and let me show you guys how to make this build. Let's go. All right, so starting things off with the custom template builder, we're going to be making a point guard, or you can make this build at shooting guard or small forward if you want to, but the height is going to be 6'8", weight 223 pounds with a 6'8" wingspan. We have to go 6'8" in order to get Hall of Fame Space Creator on this build. Now, starting things off in the finishing, we're going to have an 83 close shot so we can get hook specialist on gold, an 88 driving layup to get float game on Hall of Fame, and a 92 post control to get post spin technician on Hall of Fame, as well as gold unpluckable on this build, which is going to be a very nice badge to have. Now, the reason as to why we have almost no driving dunk on this build is for a couple of specific reasons. Mainly is because I use this build in random rec where the spacing is terrible, and when I do make builds that have driving dunk, I usually never get to be able to use it unless if I'm wide open on the fast break where I can just go up with a layup anyways. And secondly, with Hall of Fame Bulldozer in this year's game, you're gonna get way more animations with that badge, just intentionally going for layups instead. So if I really wanted to fully maximize using this badge, I needed to go for layups more, which is why we have such a high driving layup. All right, so now let's take a look at some of these finishing highlights on this build. We're using the blowout dribble to get right past our defender and just go up with the easy floater, and that's something you could do a lot on this build. And as you're seeing right there, we're just dominating this kid, pushing him out the way. Now we're taking him in the post, getting him all the way deep down into the paint and hit him with the fade going in the opposite direction. It's just a hard thing to stop, man. You have so much strength on this build that you're just going to be able to do a lot of stuff and really just toss people out of the way. And like I mentioned earlier on in the video, sure, you could dunk on the fast break, but the layup is going to be just as good. Now look at this right here. We're just tossing this kid out the way. Blow by is activating, so we take him into the half court, run right past them again, and it's just an easy floater and we score. I mean, this is just what you're going to be able to do on this build right here in the post. I just don't know what they're doing. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Having a build in this year's game where you can just effortlessly get past the person that is guarding you, especially because every single person loves full court pressing in this game. You can't full court press this build. I will beat you up the court every single time. I'll toss you out the way, whether it's a blow by animation, a bulldozer animation, it does not matter. I'm gonna get up the court faster than you are simply because I will just toss you out of the way. Now, moving on to the shooting, we're going to have a 96 mid-range shot, and like I stated earlier, this build gets Hall of Fame Space Creator, and that's how we're going to get it, is with that 96 midi. And then moving on to the three-point shot, we're going to have an 86, which is going to get you Agent 3s on silver, as well as limitless range on bronze, which is actually a surprisingly good bronze badge this year. Now listen, when it comes to this build, you're going to be able to hit pretty much every single shot you need to. Your catch and shoots, any shot out at the three-point line, whether it's a standstill, off the dribble, does not matter. You're going to be able to hit it efficiently. And then in that mid-range area with the 96 midi, you're going to be super effective. And as you can see right there, the Space Creator is going to be deadly for you as well on this build. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, in a lot of these clips, you're going to be seeing me using different dribble styles, whether it's Magic Johnson or Pro, but I can definitely say at this point I am now using Pro. But look at this right here. Oh my goodness, the step back, that was deep. I know it was a sharp take, but again, man, you can hit shots like that on this build. Right here, kind of missed up the speed boost on the crossover, but we ended up hitting it with the John Wall step back and it was wide open anyways. Now again, man, when I first started playing on this build, I didn't really, oh my goodness, hold on. We got to talk about that first. We got to talk about the insane ankle breakers for some reason that I am getting on this build. It is nuts. Now, like I was saying earlier before I was rudely interrupted by that nasty ankle breaker, listen, when I was first starting using this build, I was using Magic Johnson a lot. I was a bot, okay? But let me tell you guys about Pro Dribble Style, okay? Pro Dribble Style doesn't have that super crazy offhand speed boost like Magic Johnson does, okay? But if you know how to actually like properly speed boost in this game, using like your escape moves and all that, and doing like the same side speed boost with like the hezzy and all that, you don't need Magic Johnson. And not only that, but Pro Dribble Style is way better for getting up the court and like hitting blow bys and like hitting your blowout dribbles and getting past people going up the court. I couldn't show you guys all those great shooting highlights without showing you guys the jump shot I was using, and this is pretty much the jump shot that I'm using on all of my builds at the moment. And the base of this jump shot is going to be Tracy McGrady. This is by far the best swing jump shot in the game. There's no reason you should use any other swing jumper than T-Mac if you can unlock it. And then when it comes to the upper release, we're going to use Troy Brown Jr. and Chris Mullin. Now this is one of the only jump shots that I saw that has an A+ in both defensive immunity and release height while still having an A- speed, which is kind of crazy. All right, so now moving on to the playmaking, we're going to have a 77 pass accuracy, which is going to get you silver break starter as well as silver relay passer and touch passer. And then moving on to the ball handle, we're going to have it all the way up to an 85, which is going to get us a bunch of really great dribble animations. And we also get physical handles on Hall of Fame with this build. And then with the speed with ball, we're going to have a 75, which is going to get you pretty much all the dribble styles that are useful in this game for your swings. You're going to have Zach LaVine, LeBron, Pro, Magic Johnson. You're going to have pretty much every single option that you would want to be able to use. But if you want my personal recommendation, it's Pro and not Magic. You just got to learn how to speed boost properly. All right, so now let's talk about the playmaking. That 77 pass accuracy is going to be just enough to get the job done, okay? You're going to be able to have some decent passing badges. You're going to have enough velocity on your passes in pretty much every single game mode to get the job done, especially if you're even playing in rec. You know, it's 5v5. You can still work with a 77 pass accuracy, be a primary ball handler, and still be able to get the ball to open shooters when you need to. All right, so now moving on to the defense for this build, we're going to have an 85 perimeter defense, which is going to get you clamps on silver. Now, you're going to be a way better perimeter defender than most people would be with just silver clamps because you also have Hall of Fame immovable enforcer on this build since our strength is a 96. So you're going to be really bumpy out on the perimeter with this build. Now, when it comes to the steal, you're going to get a 60, which is going to get you interceptor on bronze, which is a decent badge this year, especially when it comes to getting passing lane steals. Now, I have gotten a couple of people recently, especially when I post builds that do not have block rating on them, saying that you need block, that you can't be a good defender without block. And I don't know, man. If you can't stay in front of somebody to the point where you need block when you have 85 perimeter defense, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, if you still need block to bail you out in that situation, I don't know what to tell you, man. I've been playing on this build. I can stay in front of pretty much every single person that I'm guarding, and if they do somehow beat me, I could definitely cut them off before they get to the basket and still get a good contest without anchor or chase down. But again, man, just to show you guys a couple clips, I'm not gonna have a crazy amount of defensive highlights because, again, I just have perimeter D and steal. But as you can see right here, that prim D is working pretty well. And again, you're going to eventually get Hall of Fame immovable enforcer on this build, which is just going to help you play insane defense. Now, as you can see right here, here is the build fully maxed out, and let's just talk about the physicals really quickly. You're going to have an 81 speed, which is going to get you speed booster on silver. You're going to have a 73 acceleration, which I think you need for 2 badges. One of them might be hyperdrive, but I know the other one is fast feet on silver, which is a great defensive badge this year. Do not lower your acceleration lower than a 73. Then moving on to your strength, you get all the way up to a 96, which is going to get you Hall of Fame bulldozer, Hall of Fame immovable enforcer, physical handles on Hall of Fame. When it comes to the strength category on this build, you got it on lock. There's not going to be nobody, even people with high prim D, I can still kind of just run through them like Derrick Henry style. But yeah, man, this build is super fun. This was a build I wanted to make to kind of just really test the upper limits of strength in this game, because we've pretty much done through this circle every single year, where at the beginning of the year, the devs and some YouTubers are telling us that strength matters in this year's game, and then we find out it doesn't. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, yeah, they done did it right this year. All right, so coming out of the My Player Builder, you're going to get the shades of Oscar Robertson, Devin Booker, and Tyrese Halliburton on this build, and you're going to get the build name, yeah, you guessed it, 3-level threat. That's gonna be it for today's video. I had so much fun playing on this build. I'm definitely gonna do more videos on this build soon, probably like a Power of Hall of Fame Space Creator video, Power of Hall of Fame Bulldozer on this video. Do I even know what the fuck I'm talking about at this point? Just go. Have a great day. Bye.